Ave Maris Stella.
Hello and welcome back to Vatican II in a Year. This is your host, Father Matthew Schneider. I am a priest of the Legionaries of Christ, and I am a theology professor. This is a podcast on the StarCrest Production Network at sqpn.com. Today we're on day 46. We're covering Inter Mirifica 23 to 24. And this is kind of an appendix, and it's on Vatican II and media, so the media of Vatican II. If you want to follow along, we have a reading plan and more details at sqpn.com/Vatican. Yesterday, we talked about different offices to look at media and help Catholics with. Today, we're moving on to the practical application of media. So there's going to be 2 paragraphs. It's not super long. This should be one of our shorter episodes. So paragraph 23 talks about how we need experts to be more concrete. So let's read the text. So it's general principles and norms of the Sacred Synod with respect to the media and social communications may be put into effect by the express will of the Council. The office of the Holy See mentioned number 19 should undertake, with the assistance of experts from various countries, to issue a pastoral instruction. So, right, we need experts in certain subfields of media for proper instruction, right? That's reasonable. I'm not going to be an expert in everything. I am, you all know the same thing. You're not an expert in every single thing. And we have this document, Communio Progressio, Communion in Progress from 1971, which is directly linked to this paragraph, right? And this council is delegating authority to a Vatican office to fulfill it. That's something new. It's an important thing that the Curia had grown in the past few centuries, and this is really the expression of that. So paragraph 24 continues, and it talks about how we can take what Vatican II says to transform the world. Let's read it. As for the rest, this Sacred Synod is confident that its assurance of these instructions and norms will be gladly accepted and religiously kept by all the Church's children. By using these helps, they will experience no harm, and like salt and light, they will give savor to the earth and brighten the world. Moreover, the Synod invites all men of goodwill, especially those who have charge of the media, to strive to turn them solely to the good of society, whose fate depends more and more on their proper use. Thus, as was the case with ancient works of art, the name of the Lord may be glorified by these new discoveries in accordance with the words of the Apostle, Jesus Christ, yesterday, today, and the same forever. Hebrews 13, right? So that idea, that ending, that's a really powerful ending. I like that. Jesus Christ, yesterday, today, and the same forever, right? I really like that kind of cosmic, eternal, powerful ending there. But this idea that all of us are responsible for implementation. Obviously, various degrees, somebody like myself who's constantly out there in the media is more responsible than, say, my mom, who just reads the media occasionally, doesn't really produce any, and you have obedience for keeping norms religiously. We need to keep those norms, right? And there's this idea of us being the salt and the light to the world, right? That from Matthew 5, where I talk about, we're salt and we don't lose our flavor, and we're light, we shine into the darkness, those type of things. That's very valuable. And we are called to proclaim the gospel via the media. It should be salt and light in the media. And there is even this hope that non-Catholics use media well. I don't know about you, but in my experience, that's not often the case. It's often the case that they use it very poorly. But we can hope, right? There are some good examples, though. I think even things like there's certain movies like VeggieTales or The Chosen, good Christian movies that I think use media well, even though they're produced by non-Catholics. And that idea that we end with, that Jesus can be glorified in everything. Every new technology should proclaim him, every tongue confess, every knee should bow, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father, right? From one of the letters, I think the Philippians, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, somebody's going to put it in the comments on YouTube or something. But anyways, that was just off memory. I didn't write that in the notes. But that idea of that Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever, that total proclamation. So this concludes Inter Mirifica. As this one is short, I will hold off on doing a Q&A episode for it, but we'll have an opportunity later, likely after Lumen Gentium. And if you want to help out, you have to support either myself or StarQuest on Patreon. So that's patreon.com and then /SQPN for StarQuest or /FRMatthewLC for myself. And we'll do another Q&A episode. As this comes out, I probably will be recording the episode and releasing it soon. might have even been released by now, depending on timing, for the Sacrosanct Concilium Q&A for patrons. So anyways, this is a listener-supported podcast. You can help by donating to StarQuest to help produce another great podcast at sqpn.com/give. You can give one time, monthly, or join the StarQuest Patreon. Tomorrow, we're going to start with Lumen Gentium. It's longer, one of the key documents. We also have a longer interview with Dr. Sean Blanchard, a lecturer at Notre Dame, Australia, and the author and a co-author with Stephen Boulevard. Vatican II, a very short introduction. He wrote the chapter on Lumen Gentium on the Church, which is a really valuable thing. I think it's one of the key things we really need to get into in this council, and it's a very beautiful document. I had a great conversation with Dr. Blanchard. That's already recorded. So please join us then to learn more about Vatican II, which can provide a blueprint for the Catholic Church. Go to sqpn.com/Vatican, frmatthewlc.com/Vatican, or Facebook or Vatican SQPN on Facebook and X for more information on the podcast, such as playlists for individual documents and a reading plan. There's also an SQPN Discord with a channel for Vatican II a year, and you can find that at sqpn.com/Discord.